Hello everybody, welcome to a special stream, an Ark of Osiris stream, one we haven't done in quite a while. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. That is right, we are live. We're going to spectate an interesting match today, 1008 versus 411K. They're about to smack it down and hopefully it'll be an awesome match. Here's the deal though, I messed up. I actually messed up big time. The reason I messed up is because I thought the Ark I am playing is yesterday. And then turns out it's today. And guess what? It's about to go down. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. There's a conflict of interest. There's a conflict of timing, not interest. But listen, here's the deal. I want to cast this. This is one of those matches that we have to cast. We have to cast this match, right? 411K being the reigning champions of the realm of Anubis, while you have HKL in the realm of Horus. And we need to keep our eye on 411K, see how they innovate, see how they go up against some of the bigger boys in this game. 1008 being one of them. I believe they were top 4 in Season 1. I don't know where they ended up in Season 2. I think they were a playoff team as well. And then, or they were in between migrating and things like that. But now Season 3, they're coming out swinging. So, hey, we're here to do this. However, we're going to have to figure out how we are casting and playing a match at the same time. Which, yeah, I don't know about all that. But we're going to go ahead and do it and get the job done as much as we can. So on this cast, no camera, because I'm going to keep looking at it's like I'm playing Ark while streaming. I am draft. That's how tragic this is. I was not going to bail on this cast, and I cannot bail on the team that I committed to play with this Ark. So it's like, yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see what ends up happening. What's the worst thing that can happen, right? I have a feeling 1008 are going to just clear the house real quick, and then we just don't need to watch anymore, right? I'm saying that because I am in 1008 right now, so I'm just trying not to get kicked. But I think it's going to be a very fun match to watch, and hopefully the one that we're playing, Lord knows who we're playing, by the way. Okay, so we're playing... I'm playing with B&W. I can show y'all. I'm playing with B&W. I don't know what you guys can see because the blue becomes invisible. We are 1.335 billion power against 1.225 billion power. So this is going to be interesting. I need to pop all of my boosts. So we are on the defense today. We are popping a 50%er. What's the worst thing that can happen? We have our presets not done, which, whoops, that is something we can take care of. Oh, we do have our presets done. I'm smarter than that. I already did them. Haha. See, I don't give myself enough credit, but I definitely made the presets already. We good. So now all we got to do is chill and wait for the next 30 seconds. We get in here really quickly, get ourselves situated, get ourselves sorted out. We swap to the casting screen, which is just essentially this. But I didn't wanna put the guys on blast, the chat on blast yet. So we're gonna do that in a second. We'd like to see how you play Mac. I agree, but I'm not gonna show you a match that I didn't tell the guys that I was gonna cast. It's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to show the game that, you know, without letting them know that I was gonna do it. So this time around we're gonna spectate someone else, but maybe next week. Maybe next time we go into an Ark, we'll definitely do that. Look at that beauty. HKL Season 2. Their name is on the building. And we are on, ladies and gentlemen, 1008. Sibo and crew, Troy. And we have Red in here as well. Red? Same Red? Same Red? I don't know. Probably. Buns of Steel and so many more crew in here. Let's get on the freaking field as well. Oh. Well, this is awkward. Ours opens in 19 seconds. Huh. I guess I got a little delay. That's good for me, so we can keep an eye on, as we got War Titan in here as well. Folks that I know, Michelle. I definitely remember Michelle from the good old days. Who else do I recognize? I don't recognize that many more names in here. But on the other side, we definitely... Oh, Super Shenron in here as well. And of course, on the other side, the folks from HKL, Aki and crew, Johnny, ex-JWM member. There's a couple of ex-JWM folks in here. Moo. There's Ark, the legendary Ark. We interviewed him after their victory in Osiris League. We had Ark and Aki really running, doing their thing. We have Hulk in here as well. Who else? Pris in here. Nice, Pris. Good for you. That's awesome. Iorlas, Lewis too, and a bunch of other folks. Most of these are from the lineup that won their Realms Osiris League, which is kind of neat. They are beasts. Oh yeah, they are. They're a really good team. I'm really looking forward to watch them play. Let's get in the battlefield real quick. Oh Lord. Oh my lordy. What's in my hospital? 70 troops. I swear to God. Chat. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. I almost know what I'm doing. I promise. Confirm. Hooray! We're in. Okay. Cool. Let me let them know. To take the building. Okay, we good. Good luck, Gecko. Thank you. Rise of Shinchi. What do you know? What a name. So 13 seconds remaining on the match. If you haven't seen Ark of Osiris before, Ark of Osiris is quite an easy game mode. It's fairly straightforward in understanding, but it's not an easy one to play. The way it works is you have a map, a custom-made map for the event, and it is a mirrored map. So if you take a look right here at this line in the middle, both sides of the map are equally the same stuff. Now, what this game mode is all about is simple. 30 versus 30 for the next hour are going to compete to try to accumulate as many points as possible in order to earn an Ark of Osiris victory. The way you accumulate points is simple, either through picking up buildings, which will give you every single minute points, or you can gather caravans to get points per each caravan you gather, and you can do the Temple of Osiris to capture an Ark of Osiris for a huge amount of points, first one being 3,000 points, and it can go all the way up to 4,500 points per Ark. And as we do that, let's switch it off to the cast screen, where I'm a little bit bigger than usual, which is not necessarily a good thing, and we gotta send marches out. But right now, in the early stage, all the folks can do is essentially get their marches out on the open field, which is what you're seeing pouring out right now, are marches of players of both sides just placing themselves where they need to be for once the buildings start opening up. In the first stage of the game, all you have are obelisks and outposts to capture. Once you capture those, in 3 minutes or at the 52nd minute, the rest of the buildings, the shrines and altars will open up for occupation, and then the match will start, and then the mayhem will begin. And as we are sending all of our forces up on the field, we got to remember that I'm a 52nd minute teleporter, which means I can't have too many marches out on the field, as I need to secure them somewhere before I end up teleporting. Could be a problem. But we're good. So far, so good. I wish I could show you guys the match instead that we're playing, but it is what it is. At this stage, both teams picking up their initial buildings. The folks in blue have an early advantage. They have picked up all of their outposts, all 3 outposts, and the bottom obelisk. On the other side, as the map is mirrored, the top obelisk was secured by the red team, and now they have 2 of their outposts. But because they took a little bit too long to secure their outposts, giant gecko, I know, right? I'm really not happy with the size of that. Oh, timeout. You are not wrong. Gecko. Small gecko. There you go. Small. Attaboy. There you are. And while you're at it, might as well give you guys some quick little tips and tricks on the screen, which you'll see popping up in a moment. So at this stage, each side has their own initial buildings, and it's time to move forward. As you can see, they're moving their marches forward. They're starting to implement their attack on the later buildings. What tends to happen here is folks tend to use rallies to move across the field. As you can see, there's a rally right here marching towards an outpost. 3 rallies launched on the one side, 4 on the other side. And these guys are all marching towards outposts and obelisks. At this point, only obelisks, then outposts. But these guys have an outpost being targeted, this outpost right here. And right now, the most important thing anyone can do is get to the buildings and secure them. At this stage, there is no fighting yet. At this stage, it's all about setting the ground for what's about to come. For the folks in 1008, it seems like they have secured their Shrine of War and they're surrounding it, and they've sent an extra march up to the top to potentially break apart around the Desert Altar to try to steal a Desert Altar from the blue team. On the other side, the red team is trying to secure their own Desert Altar, but the blue team, doing exactly the same strategy, have moved a rally forward, and now they're aggressing towards the red side's Desert Altar. As mentioned, these maps are mirrored, so essentially both teams doing pretty much the same thing makes a lot of sense, except that the top and the bottom are flipped. In this case, it looks like Noodle is looking to continue going with this. Noodle's rally is not stopping, and it is aiming at the obelisk. If the obelisk is not well secured, things could go really bad really quickly for 411k. Rallying an altar early on is important, but rallying getting to a point where you're rallying the obelisk is a dangerous move. The reason it's a dangerous move is if 411k are able to hold on to their obelisk, you essentially wasted a big opportunity to have early advantage in other places and buildings like the Desert Altar, like the folks in blue are doing right here, even though at this point they're a little bit getting pushed. They're getting pushed back a little bit. On the other hand, if this take is successful, if this obelisk falls down, it'll pretty much eliminate a lot of the teleporting strategy that's coming out of the folks in blue, as every single 5 minutes that the building is secured, another teleport is given to you. However, if 1008 take out this obelisk right now, which it doesn't seem like they will because everything converted into making sure this obelisk holds and is secured, once this is taken care of, everything is good. But in an off case that for some reason 411k would have lost their obelisk, this could have had repercussions on their whole strategy throughout the remaining of the match, because at the end of the day, it'll mess up essentially all of their timings. And as the obelisk is secured, Lewis and Moo teleport forward. Buildings are being occupied all over the place. 411k taking first occupation on the shrine. For some reason, the Satel Takeda stayed out fighting on the open field rather than in holding onto the building. That's probably a slight mistake by 411k, but they did secure their Desert Altar. Red team secures their own Desert Altar. So far, so good. Now we got to keep a quick eye on our match right here. Get in the building, get in the building, get in the building. Okay, now I gotta ask very quickly as we interrupt this. The map has still not been taken, which is kind of nuts. There's an Atel Takeda trying to take back the Shrine of Life very unsuccessfully. A lot of Betty standing here right next to the Sky Altar, not securing it. Betty now secures the Sky Altar. Oleg could have secured it earlier, even if he's not the garrison captain. We gotta ask for garrison oh wait, Vey, I need to TP too. Come on, boys. You guys need a TP? Y'all need to TP, because if you don't TP, I can't TP. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Eris. All right. To hide the troops. Coming. Ay. And then we need to switch. Captain. Top. Altar. There we go. Haha. Perfect. We good. Now that we've settled that out of the way, let's take a look at the match as it goes. Ooh, 411k picking up outposts. We have a little bit of a nuisance. Nat, to be exact, is going after the outposts of Seth, and this is a little bit of a problem for the red team. A lot of people sleep on the outposts because they're very insignificant buildings. They're small buildings that are only 30 points apiece. But guess what? 3 of those are 90 points apiece. And now, when you're not gaining those 90 points every single minute in a whole match, that is what? 5,400 points out the window, right? Because it's 90 every minute, 60 minutes. Well, we'll call it 52 minutes. Even then, 4,500 points out the window. I'm playing and casting. That's some new meta. I know, Abinava. It's the worst. It was such a bad idea, and that's so much my fault. And I'm trying to make it right. I'm trying to make this right as much as I can. But it's tough. Oy vey. Come on, move so I can teleport. Marches. TP? Hello? Oh my goodness gracious. People are leaving the building and not letting me teleport. Fights going everywhere. Blue buildings blinking across the board. Super Shenron with a nice little Attil Takeda rally. Doing good against the Desert Altar defense. I'm surprised that this defense is going down this quick. It means that there is not only infantry or people are leaving the... What? There has to have been a mistake in here. There had to have been non-infantry in here causing this. Blue buildings blinking all across the board. And now we have the Sky Altar being swarmed and rallied at the same time. Rally went out the window by the looks of it, but the swarm is still here. And the swarm is being successful. The two altars are being contested. Blue team did steal away the Sky Altar from red, which is big trouble for them. They're definitely going to need it in order to secure their game. At the end of the day, that's the biggest point-giving building in the game. The Sky Altars are the ones, and Desert Altars are 150 points collectively each. And, I mean, you have to hold on to these, or else trouble in paradise. 3,700 points to 2,600 of the red team means that the blue team did secure one of the altars ahead of time, but very big problem. Very big problem. 1008, securing an obelisk away from the blue team on the 47th minute. It'll throw off all of their teleports from here on out by at least 3 minutes, which is super important. It's what they really needed right now to be able to potentially come back into this. And let me explain a little bit further. The map is very blue indeed, but by having an obelisk taken away from the blue team, what the folks in red just did is they're throwing off with every minute that passes the teleport list and lineup of 411K. 411K, as a top tier alliance, more than likely has a set of teleports. Who teleports at what time? When they don't have the obelisk, it means they're gaining less teleports every 5 minutes, which means less people can teleport, which means less marches are coming out on the field quicker. This is huge. Once the 30th minute is over, you're past the 30th minute mark. At that stage, it's pretty much impossible for you to care for an obelisk because you already have. Ooh, and there's the return. Oh my goodness. I like this. They flipped the sides. They're not top and bottom. They're now going this way instead of that way. That's cool. An obelisk taken away is a great return. 108 slipping in here. This was their advantage. This right here was their advantage. At the 30th minute, all the available teleports are available for the players. So really, you don't need any more obelisks theoretically. And at 20 points per minute, it is not as significant to hold onto your obelisks after the 30th minute than before the 30th minute. This also means that you are more than certainly using all your available teleports, and you're also using Divine Aid. If you use Divine Aid twice, like most teams nowadays do, what'll end up happening is by the 30th minute, this building is completely obsolete. The red team taking back their obelisk is huge news, because if they can hold on to 3 obelisks, they'll get more teleports, which means they'll move quicker on the field. For them, this is not it. This is not what they're looking for. They're not looking for more teleports. They're also they're looking to slow down 411K. By holding on to this building for 2 minutes and almost 30 seconds, and now there's another 3 minutes worth of a cooldown. Essentially, 1 teleport was taken away in the early rotation, which means now only on the 25th minute before the end, you'll see that 411K will fully be able to teleport. So it means they're going to need to sacrifice someone's marches. 1008 doing a perfect play right here. They've secured the Shrine of War. They're letting the rally hit. The defense is just doing what it's doing. Ooh, I see a Yisan Sin. That's cool. Oh, we're definitely going to take a look at this report. See how it did and what it did. Keep in mind, there could have been swarmers here prior and all that good stuff. But we can definitely take a look at this report. Let's go take a quick peek and see what we got holding here. There's the rally right there. It doesn't seem to have been slightly wounded. Okay, so it was full and then some. Sibo is using Charles Martel and Yisan Sin. The trades are looking nice, considering there was also a swarm on this, which was not too successful. Was not too successful by Hulk, but hey, look at the trade. Charles Martel, Isan Sin against an Atel Takeda. If we quickly take a look at the buffs, Cavalry Health, this is a very interesting set in terms of the equipment on this guy. Not the strongest Atel Takeda I've seen, but not the worst one either. Blue team just walked away with a... Hello? Are they just walking away with the Ark? Yeah, Noodle, that's fine. It's like, you could just let him pass. Come on, Noodle. Blue team just marching this rally, marching their Ark of Osiris back home. This Ark has not stopped for a moment. Ever since this went, it just clicked and gone. And nobody seems to be able to stop this carrier. At 411k, we'll drop this Ark more than likely. There are folks on its tail already ready to hit it out of the park. But even so, with the Ark moved all the way to here, I don't know. I don't really know whether or not this is even something that's even considerable to come back from. At this stage, you almost give up on the Ark and just do your own thing. Because realistically, even if this Ark is dropped right here, which it should be any moment right there, it is so close to the blue side, it's so close to these cities compared to the red side cities, that once these marches go away, all of these blue marches can go refill faster than these marches will take to go home and come back. So the Ark carrier now securing the Ark at 3,000 points lead for 411k. This will be another 3,000 points into their lead. And man, 1008 doing everything they can to stop the bleeding. They're now rallying with a Edward that looks like an Edward Yisong-Ye rally in here, trying to take their building back. While that's going on, Michelle's rallying up on the top, the Shrine of Life, trying to secure that too. Another rally is in by Super Shenron on the Desert Altar, but that's a little less successful. And one more rally to top that off by War Titan in the Shrine of War. Bad news bear, that rally is about to go down. Blue team securing 4 altars. Oy, oy, oy. This is going from bad to worst really, really, really quickly. Let's go take a look at our match very fast to make sure, you know, we're good. Nobody's rallying my altar, which is super disappointing. Nobody's rallying my altar. So I guess I go fight. I'm going to go 0 a city or something. I'm going to go 0 a city or something because we're going to need the 10,000 points somehow, right? We're going to need the 10,000 points. 411k will win. 411k are looking good. 41 minutes remaining. Barely 11 minutes worth of play yet. So I wouldn't call it a match for 411k just yet. But 1008 right now have a problem. All the point-giving buildings are in blue. 3 of them are already ticking for points and 1 is about to get there. If the blue team holds on to the 4 altars in their side, they don't care about arcs, they don't care about rallying, they don't care about anything. Having 4 altars pretty much secures you the game. Why is that, Gecko? Very simple. On the map, you have 1,180 points every single minute. That's right, you gain 1,180 points if you own the whole map. But you don't. You own usually half of the map. 590 points is the cutoff of the middle. Now, when you hold a desert altar or a sky altar, you get 150 points per minute, which means you get 600 out of 1,180 points, more than half. That little more than half, plus the rest of the buildings on your side, is more than enough for you to completely secure a victory. Let's put it this way. You're completely set to secure a victory. 1008 is indeed 1 member down. Good call out by the chat. There are 1 teleport available on each side as well. They're 1 member down, so 5 marches down. They're 300 points per minute less, but they're catching up. They've stopped 411k from having that extra lead, that extra goodness. And now, well, we gotta move ourselves backwards a little bit. And now they're trying to equalize it out. They have so much time in this match. Ladies and gentlemen, that it's definitely doable. It's definitely a doable comeback. 4,000 points, 40 minutes remaining. They've stopped 1008. They've stopped 411k from gaining an advantage on the points per minute game above the half. Yes, they have 300 points per minute more, but I mean, 300 points per minute more is great. Once these buildings are secured, we go to 590 on each side. So that's how you stop the bleeding. From there, 1008 need to figure out how they start gaining a lead back. In Ark, there are 3 modes in which you find yourself while playing. And let me move the camera a little bit because that spot is pissing me off. There are 3 things you need to know about having points in Ark. You can be in the lead and you're gaining a lead, which means you're increasing the distance between you and your opposition. There is another mode, which is time to try to decrease the gap, but you're still not taking a lead. You're closing the gap. And then there is that final phase in which you've closed the gap and now you're taking a lead in the other direction, which is now the other team's job to close it out. And so the way this works right now is at 590, you're essentially stopping the overwhelming increase by 411K. 411K are still gaining 300 points more every single minute. In 3 minutes, that'll go away, and then everything will be back to normal. But even then, if there was above 590 to either side, it would require from the other side to take a building back in order to stop the bleeding. That 1 member out is a big difference. That is 5 marches on the field. That is correct. That is a very significant difference. 5 marches is a lot. 5 marches is no joke. And so, for example, Aki in here alone, I believe, has 2 of his marches in here are pretty much taking care of this march out of here. So think about him not being here, what difference it would have been in the sense of there would be more open field presence in here. There's red Buns of Steel trying to revenge his own march. There's a little bit of open field fun happening in here. A little bit of open field fun happening in here. In case you guys are interested, our match is 11,600 against 7,800. But they have a building advantage on us right now, which is not very good. Not very good at all. Here comes a rally. We're going to try to get some pain and some points out of this. Rally's exchanging sides. 411K relentlessly going up against this Desert Altar. Very good play by 1008 to essentially forget about the building itself and about the marches, but focus the rally. Yes, it's a much more painful situation to have to focus the rally, which in Hotel Takeda, which is just terrible. But by the rally being slowed down and weaker now, the Desert Altar will most likely be able to hold, and that's great news overall. How many healing speed ups is too much? Is too much to be used in Ark of Osiris? I don't know, Toters. I used in 1 match over 40 days in Osiris Invitational. In Osiris League. In Osiris League, I used over 40 days in 1 match. If that makes any sense. No? I'm out of here. Fight. Sure. Go fight something. Better than not fighting anything at this stage. Hey. We're getting focused. What do you know? Anyway. Back to the action we go. Blue team securing a Shrine of Life away from red team. The problem for red team is that they're not holding on to their own buildings. That's the biggest issue. They're trading buildings with blue, which is great, but they're also not able to hold on to their own buildings. Taking this Sky Altar away from blue team, 2 thumbs up. That's a great play. But they're going to need more than this. They're going to need a lot more than this because at the other side, the blue team took their Sky Altar away and they have such a huge open field presence that there's very little you can do right now to secure your own Sky Altar. Yeah, you did the same thing to them, but they are in the lead, and they're still gaining more points per minute than you are, which is a real problem. Does having backups increase your MMR? I don't know. I don't think so, Ray. I don't think so. Yes, using a boat in the desert. I know, right? I looked at that earlier, and I was like, where's the water from the boat? Where's the water from the boat? Let me just double check that we're fully reinforced and ready to roll. We got a rally finally marching our way, so we trying to be productive members of this team, even though I'm definitely not as productive as I should be, and that's my stupidity. That's my bad. I shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is, chat. It is what it is. We're gonna make the best out of this match, although by the looks of it, it's going to be a very rough one. Next time, no casting at this time. No casting at this time next time. That's for sure. It's crazy, right, chat? Have you ever seen a content creator who casts and plays a match of his own at the same time? I don't think you guys have ever seen that. And that's because I don't think anyone's ever done it. And that's because they're probably better than me at planning. Not gonna lie, but hey, I saw a crazy match. I couldn't have said no to it, but slowly and steadily, our crazy match is turning very one-sided. 34 minutes remaining is still enough time. But the thing that red team needs to do right now is one of two things. First of all, they gotta convert their own buildings back and hold on to them. Secondly, they gotta at least stop 411K from earning points on their buildings, and they did a really good job with that in the Sky Altar. From there, they need an Ark. And the problem with Ark is that 411K are so much on the driver's seat when it comes to the situation on the map right now that taking an Ark is impossible. Because whenever the red team is going to do anything humanly possible to try to get close to that Ark, they're going to get massively pummeled on. And you can see it happening. The folks of 1008 proccing a skill 3 minutes before the Ark comes in, which means even if they clear all of this right now, in a minute and a half, as you can see, more marches are going to come in, and this skill is not going to last that much longer. And so they are gambling on clearing the field now to try to later on have an easier time. But in my opinion, that was a little bit premature. They really need to start taking more Sky Altars away, more Desert Altars away. This Desert Altar is almost going down. That could go down. That could realistically very easily go down. There was a rally marching to the Desert Altar. Why is there no rally anymore? Come on, man. Why no rally? Why no rally my altar? Stupid people. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go take care of some open field guys, I guess. I will cast next week, hopefully. Hopefully, I'll talk to the folks at B&W, see if they're okay with it, and I might cast myself playing. I might cast myself playing, doing what I do on the field. Primarily like Garrison Commander at this point. 108, taking this right here can be big for them. They're going to stop a teleport, even though theoretically there is an empty teleport. As you can see, the folks in blue are less caring about what's going on in here than they were earlier. There is much less impact right now, per se. Much less impact right now than there was previously about this, specifically because they got the teleports they needed. But look at how many marches. Johnny, 1, 2, 3, and I believe this is Johnny 2. 4 marches by Johnny in here to try to stop this Ark, this rally from hitting it. Ark sent a march in. That's why I called his name. He had a march that went in this way. All the map is blue. And at this point, we'll keep an eye on the center, but the whole map is blue. And when the map is blue, there's a big problem. There's a big problem for red team if the map is blue. Let's go really quickly, pick up an Ark of Osiris in our match. I need points, chat. I'm gonna finish the match with less than 10,000 points. It'll be really ridiculous. 232 people watching. Hit the like button, guys. Gecko's working hard to bring us the content. I appreciate you, Avanava. If you guys are enjoying the content, do smash that like button. This is not a regular Ark cast. Usually I'm 100% on this, but I goofed. I misinterpreted and misplanned today, and yeah, it came at a cost. It came at a cost at me, literally like, I'm playing a match while casting a match while playing a match. That's what we need to see out of 1008. There you go. That's a building taken away again. They're contesting this building as well, which it doesn't look like it's going to be too successful. But taking that away, that's the bleeding stopping right there. That could throw off 411K a little bit. The middle looks great for red team too. The Ark is down. Time to bring it on your side. Dip out of here. And there is a good shot for 411K to now have to figure out what the heck is going on. They're trying to take a Shrine of War away from 1008, and that's going to be unsuccessful. Middle team is really gearing it up. It looks like somehow, out of all this red, blue pick up the Ark, and they're dipping. Nobody's paying attention to the Ark carrier. 108, how is it possible that a blue march managed to drop the Ark with all this red presence on the blue side? I don't get it. That could be a massive blowout for 108, because that Ark could have been secured to them. And now, because it's on this side and 411K keep picking it up, 108, what are you guys doing? Hello? And now he bails. Oh, he's bailing. Grab that Ark. Time to move the Ark back. Hello? Oh my goodness. And to make matters even worse. My dad calls. Today's not. There we go. That's what we were looking for. That's what we're trying. That's what you need to do. Now, 1 second, chat. Sorry, chat. When it rains, it pours. I tell you, when it rains, it pours. What's going on with the Ark carrier? I don't know. I don't know what was the idea behind this Ark carry. I don't understand what was the idea behind this Ark carry. I feel like 1008 just fell asleep on the wheel. That's all that happened. They had everything they needed to secure this Ark much easier than they are right now. But it feels like the Ark carrier was just not paying attention to the match for a second, was too focused on fighting in the open field perhaps. This is something that I've talked about more than once, in more than one occasion, in more than one context. When you are in a match, you need to keep your eyes on the game. You need to keep your eyes on the top priority. And the top priority is to win the match, period. That is the top priority. You need to do anything humanly possible to win. Really? Come on, you're back in. You need to do everything humanly possible to get the win, essentially. What ended up happening here is sometimes, and not only here, in many matches, folks lose, don't keep an eye on what matters. They don't keep an eye on the ball, essentially. They keep an eye on everything across the board, but not on the ball. The ball here right now is pick up the Ark and move it. That was the ball. Not the open field fights, not the kills, not the clear the field, not the buildings either. Get the Ark and move it back. When you're securing a building, you're defending a building. First priority, defend the building. The building cannot fall. Put your troops in the building. That's priority number one. Only after enough troops are in the building, that's when you start fighting around. When you're attacking a building, forget about the open field marches. Smash into that building, destroy it, take over it, even if you have 0 troops remaining. What does it matter? What does it honestly matter? You guys want to see something funny? Check it out. There are 4 marches right now fighting my Richard Charles Martel, and that's been going on for the last like minute and a half. Oh my goodness, they're just not able to break my little tank. BM? That's funny. That's actually hysterical. But back into the match we go. 1008 are still fighting for an Ark that was 100% theirs. To make matters worse, they lost the Shrine of War in the process, which means now 411k are coming from the back to squeeze them out as well. They're refilling the Shrine of War, which is even more trouble because they have double the buffs, which means more attack and more defense. Oh my lordy. 1008. That little mess up was huge. Huge, because those moments they had to bring the Ark back to their side instead of dropping it on their side is how they lost this building, is how they allowed these marches to get here. Now they're going to get backstabbed, and even if they do take the Ark, they're going to take it at a massively expensive cost. A massively expensive cost. I cannot believe. Chat, I cannot believe my march is still there. We killed 2 of 4, and it's still going. Oh my lordy. That Richard Charles Martel build is just tanky as all heck. But anyway, look at this now. There's a red cloud trying to move the Ark downwards, but now there's a blue set of folks coming in. Ark, Moo. These are not dumb people. These are players who know how to win games. They are part of teams that won invitationals, that won Osiris leagues. They are not here to mess around. They are straight going towards the Ark carriers. They don't care about the massive, beautiful little thing that's going on in here in red. They're looking for the Ark carriers, and they know that they can just snipe Ark carrier by our Ark carrier at a time. And that's that. 2 streams in a row. Oh, cool. Yeah, today we had a nice little match to cast, so I was like, why not? Chat, they gave up on hitting my Richard. They gave up on hitting my Richard. Poor bastards. Anyway, shout out to 69KV. They're fighting us right now. By the looks of it, they don't really care for my altar, which is super disappointing. I need solo points. I need solo points really badly. Middle team in the red team is doing their job. The problem is it comes at a very big cost. Desert Altar is about to go down. 411k also slipping on it a little bit. Sky Altar secured, which is good news for 411k. Less good news for the folks in red who are supposed to own that building. This building seems to be decently well secured. There's some open field presence in here to complement the rally, which is trouble for the red team. They might lose their Desert Altar. Sky Altar, though, is looking great. Red team really looking to take that building out, and they'll most likely be successful at it. I don't see the rally. Maybe the rally already broke. Yeah, the rally definitely seemed to have broken. So maybe this building will still stay secured. Red team kind of found themselves between a hard place and a rock. When they allowed the madness that's going on in the middle to happen, it essentially gave the folks in blue the driver's seat once more. They are once more in the driver's seat now, which is a little bit of a problem. A little bit of a problem for sure. Let's really quickly, while we're here, send out a couple of marches on the open field in our Ark match. We need 2,300 extra points, and we can pretty much call it. I mean, my defense is holding. My defense is there, so I don't know. It looks like my defense is holding really well, which is good. It's almost like I'm a Garrison player now. 4 altars are blue. It's not that 1008 could not have won this match. 1008 could definitely win this match. They have the commanders, they have the players, they have... I'm looking at commander choices. I see Artemisia's all over the place. I see UIE Sun Sin expertise on 2 people. I see everything that we need in order to beat 411k. What 1008 are lacking is a little bit of coordination, and they're also lacking a little bit of timing. So, for example, there are 2 solo marches. Let's say 3. Let's go with 5, okay? Solo marches on their way here. But the fact that there is this gap between them means that these 2 have now been trapped by 3. Thankfully, those 3 are not that strong, so they'll be fine. But these are the kinds of things I'm talking about. Coming in different orders, in different timings, allowing 411k to just waltz through this way without doing anything too much about it. This Ark is still not secured. Outpost is even blue, so now that they need to take their outpost back. Now the fight for the outpost will begin. The reason this match is probably over is not the reason you imagine. The reason this match is probably over is because 1008 just don't have the coordination they need right now to beat a top tier team like 411k. They have the commanders and they have the players and they have everything, including a decent strategy. What they don't have is the coordination and the teamwork that needs to be worked on a little bit. Now, it's not that they're bad. They're pretty good. They've actually secured their Ark, and all's good in the hood. But 8,000 points, and they've never taken the points permanent lead once this game, is a little bit of a problem. They did sacrifice way, way, way too much for the Ark, 100%. And they did it because of a concept that I call a rolling mistake. Let me go find someone to go wreck my troops into. Can I find someone to wreck my troops into? I'll just move them forward. Move them forward for now. All right. So there is a concept in psychology too. I don't know the name of it, the technical term of it, but when they say when it rains it pours, right? And when it rains it pours doesn't mean that necessarily, you know, when what it means is when one thing happened, multiple things happen. And essentially what I'm trying to say is that when the one thing happened where 1008 slipped on the Ark in the beginning, that led to a chain reaction of events which made them pay more and more and more for the Ark rather than less and less and less. They essentially made a mistake, 411k capitalized on that mistake and switched the tables. Yes, they gave the red team the Ark, sure, but look at the difference. It took way too long. The points per minute game is more than double in favor of blue, so they don't care. Dim psychologist, but I never heard such concept. What do you mean you never heard such concept? In psychology, psychology is, well, how would you put it? When one thing leads to another thing. How is it called? When you're like, when something happens and then you hesitate about the next thing you do because what happened to you in the past makes you hesitate about the next thing you do instead of doing it with confidence. There is a concept to it. There's a concept to it. That it's like, it's confidence, but it's not confidence. There's a cascade effect. The cascade effect. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. It's cascade effect. Oh, there's one guy in here. And my camera goes crazy. Essentially, or waterfall effect, I guess it's called. It's a kind of cascade. It's the same. When one thing happens, it just keeps going more and more and more, and it's just that there's no way to stop it. And the way you stop it is by essentially recognizing there was a problem, right? The problem with recognizing there is a problem is that you're in the middle of a match and you don't have time to recognize that problem. So this is why I like to cast matches, by the way, because I like to leave feedback to the teams playing, especially those who lost the match. There are points in which you can't really revert what you did, but you need to make a note on it so that you can next time not do it. The most crucial thing that happened here that really killed the game for 108 was the fact that this Ark it snowballed. It snowballed, Carrie. It really did. The fact that the Ark went this way and not that way. When that happens, the Ark marched this way, and to bring it from here all the way to here, that's a good 40, 50 seconds worth of time, which was enough for more marches to go panic mode towards the middle, which meant the Shrine of War was left unsecured, which now, as you can see, it very much is. And it just, okay, it's not a matter of learning from mistakes. You need someone in the team to recognize the mistake, to be like, guys, we made a mistake here, let's move on. We made a mistake here, let's move on through this, but forget about it. Stop, cut the mistake out, let's continue. In JWM2 last season, one of the things that I really liked about Julius in the later game, especially in Osiris Invitational, was that what Julius used to do is he was like, for the record, this just happened, FYI, we're not going to bother about it, but just so you know, this happened. Because once he acknowledged there's a mistake that we need to remember and know about, then everybody's aware of a mistake that happened, and now we can be like, okay, how we get out of this mistake rather than build on top of it. And we gave up an Ark one time because of a mistake. We said, let it go, let it go. Let's not keep doing this. This is too much. Give them the Ark. Remember this moment. Forget about the mistake. Shake it off, and let's continue. We lost one Ark. Not a big deal. We won that match, by the way. But yeah, it's one of those things. Uh-oh. I'm getting swarmed. Ah. Chat, check it out. Okay, let's see how long this lasts. Because they're targeting everything else but the one march, the infantry march. But we'll go get it. We'll go get it in a second. Chat, look. All right, remember this? Whoa. Remember this? It is 15 minutes before the end. Richard just now got targeted. Let's see how long that lasts. This match, unfortunately, is over. And for the first time ever, red team is in the lead in the points per minute game, and that's only because the blue team doesn't have, they have two altars not secured. Once they secure both these altars, it's game over. what are things that I would, first of all, chat, this is your time to ask questions. Please ask questions about your Ark strategy, about commander choices, anything along the way. By all means, shoot. If I were to just think of constructive feedback for the folks of 108, all right. Look, it is time. We're officially getting swarmed. We're officially getting swarmed. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 marches, 1456. So what would I leave as feedback for 108? How can they improve their gameplay? Their start was great. Their start was perfect. They took this, which was great, but then they gave up that, which was bad. Essentially, they made a move, and 411K reacted, and 411K managed to take away the good thing that 108 did. That's feedback number 1. Feedback number 2 is timing. You need to figure your timings a little bit better. 3 minutes ahead of Ark is way too early to proc a skill. Way too early to proc a skill, in my opinion. But if you guys have a better strategy, by all means, I don't pretend to be the best player out there. And most importantly, keep your eye on the ball, right? If you're in rallying and your open field presence, then swarm the building. Don't stand here. If you are a swarm that comes in with a rally, you need to be ahead of the rally rather than behind the rally. Or else, look at what's going to happen. All this swarm is coming up to wreck this rally right now. And these open field marches are not going to make, they're not even going to, I don't think they'll even make it here before the rally goes down. And then they don't put any pressure on the building because there's no main rally to hit the building, so there's no pressure. It's a matter of timing a little bit better. 13:33. We lasted 1 minute and 20 seconds with that getting swarmed by 4 marches. Did we get to 10,000 points? Hooray, we did. Good. We good. We good. This was fairly boring. This was fairly boring. And there's that. And now look, the open field is here. Huzzah! But what's the open field doing? They're fighting the open field. And at this point, whatever, if they're looking for points, 2 thumbs up. But usually what you want is you want to put pressure on the building. Forget about the open field. If you take the building, all this open field does nothing. The point of that open field is to defend the building. So if you kill the open field but don't take the building, what's the point, right? The open field's like, we did our job. Is it worth send 1 march for gathering in Ark of Osiris? Toters, in JWM2, we had in the beginning 10 people, I think, that sent 1 march each. Later on, it became dedicated people that gathered, and later on, it became 2 marches for certain people, and that's it. Is it worth gathering? It is. It absolutely is. But how you do it depends on what kind of troops and what kind of members you have in your team and how well they can do. That's pretty much that. That's pretty much that. In my first Ark of Osiris, I got 9K and we lost. I got 4 gold heads. Yeah, you definitely want to get to 10. You have to get toters at the end of an arc, even if you lose. Tip for y'all, if you have troops alive in your city and not 10,000 points, you're doing it wrong. Take your troops, smash into a building. 4 marches, 5 marches, full. Just smash into a building. It doesn't matter. Just find someone in the open field to smash into them. Don't leave without 10,000 points and troops alive, because there's no point. I can tell you that right now, for example, on my account, and that's because we had I'm not paying attention to the game, so I kind of suicided some troops for 10,000 points. I have 11,000 points, but I'm out of archers. And halfway through my infantry, so I spent like I wounded 2.7 million tier 5s. What am I doing with them? One is going to stay at the end. Can you make a beginner's Ark strategy? Yes, Hervey. That is in the making. That is in the making. That is being planned as we speak. I want to make a series there's a series coming up to explain to you Ark from beginners and beginner strategies all the way to more complex situations. But Ark is a very hard game mode to just like make content of because they're very limited time and you have to get a practice match and all that. So I'm definitely working on it. In a lower alliance, should the stronger player focus on Ark or on buildings? It should be a little bit of both. Your rally leaders should definitely be focused on rallying. One march on rallying is more than enough. The strong players can commit one rally per person, which would be theoretically 1, 2, 3, 4 rallies to attack, and then the rest they can go to the middle, right? So rallies, always on buildings, the best rallier is the better. And then the weaker players, quote unquote, can go to the open field, help in the open field and all that good stuff. There's no point in taking all the arcs if you lose all the buildings. That's pretty much it. Ooh. Blue team took an arc, and then red team took the outpost away from them. This is going to end bad. I mean, there's nobody in red here to really stop this. And now they're going to just take the outpost, and then, I mean, the guy might even bail out of here. Take the outpost, and then this arc will get secured. They don't really need this. They're 10,000 points ahead. Finally, red team has 3 altars in their favor, but I would say it's more than likely because 411K kind of let go of the gas, I would assume, because they weren't like this earlier. They were putting a little bit more emphasis, I guess, on the center than they did. They did put more emphasis on the center than they did previously this time around. So it did cost them a building, which they now took back, and they're losing the points per minute game. But at 8 minutes, it's too little too late for 4-1-0-8. Would you make a video about the worst legendary commanders to invest in 2020? Sure, Fairs. I am actually right now as we speak, well, not exactly right now, but after this, I am doing my research on the top ranker series that we're doing this time around. Rally leaders, then we have garrison commanders, and then we have arc commanders, and then we can probably squeeze the worst ones to invest in 2020. That's an interesting concept, Drew. Not Drew, Fairs. I might make that sooner than I thought, just because, I have a cool idea. Fairs, thank you. I like it. By the way, I actually picked up a board. Oh, I forgot. I can't wear blue anymore. Whoops, I forgot I can't wear blue. How is it that it didn't catch this before? That's kind of dope. I can't wear blue again. But with this, it definitely changes the colors. But I bought a board. And the idea of the board is it's going to go up on the wall. And it's going to be an ideas wall. So every time y'all give me a good idea, we can do it right now. I'm going to sticky note it to the board. We got thingies. So open this. Great idea. About new civilizations and commanders. What do you think about the new update that will be out soon about new civilizations and commanders? I'm not talking about that at all right now, and I'll tell you why I think that. Okay, so let me ask you this, Khan. Did you watch Chiskull's video? Is this why you're asking about this? You watched Chiskull's video earlier? Hi, bro. Khan Saladin or Khan CC free to play? If you can Khan Saladin, better. You can go with 5-5-5-1 Saladin and then Expertise Khan. Did you watch Chiskull's video about it? That's why you're asking about new civilizations and new commanders? Yep, I figured you did. So, the one thing that you should probably know is that, and if you watch Chiskull's live streams, you'll know this. He said on stream, how did I never look at the dev notes before? And so he got hyped up about the dev notes and made a video, right? But reality is, dev notes, more often than not, don't come true in a day or in an update or even in 3 updates. There are still things on dev notes to this day that they said they'll do that they haven't done yet. There were things in patch notes that they said they'll do in patch notes, which didn't happen that patch. So I think Chis is a little bit optimistic in that aspect. I don't think it's coming out soon. I don't think it's coming. I might be completely wrong. I might be completely wrong. And you know that I'm the speculative guy. I'm the guy who used to do leaks and all that. I'm all for the speculation. I just think that he jumped the gun on it a little bit. And that right there is why I don't talk about it. Because that frowny face of you being disappointed by it, is what I was not looking to do. I didn't want you guys to build an expectation and then be shattered by it, unfortunately. Did Lilith will ever add new KBK mode? 1v1 seems interesting. Maybe, Ray. That'd be cool. What's the benefit of being sponsored by Rise of Kingdoms? Fortson, a long time ago, it used to be, it's primarily like a relationship with Lilith. We pitch ideas to them of things to do. We essentially make content about the game. I can't really go into like needy details on what comes with it and what are our responsibilities per se. But I'll give you an example. The Osiris League casting was something that I pitched to Lilith in season 1, and that's still going on to this day. We also do like short videos for them every now and then for the Rise of Kingdoms official channel. You guys might have seen mine about Ark of Osiris, by the way. But yeah, it pretty much just gives us a little bit of a better communication with them. We do have a support person that's dedicated to us to answer questions from you guys. And I think that's about that. There's a little bit more involved in there, but there are things I just can't talk about. Can you take us a tour in Baba's account or character T? X21X Mohammed, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. You guys should totally message Baba in game and be like, Baba, we want to see a tour of your account on Gecko's channel. You should tell him that. I told him. He didn't believe me that you guys want to see it. So Jack Bo 3 and anyone in the chat, go find Baba in JWM and be like, hey, we want to see a tour of your account. Send Gecko info. I'll do it. I'm totally down. I don't really want to bug them about it, though. You know, I don't bug people about these things because it's their account. Like, it's like me telling them, can I look into your wallet, please? I feel fairly uncomfortable doing that, especially if I'm the one reviewing it. King Royal, welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. But it comes from you guys. That's a different story, right? I'm just like, it's nothing to do with me. It's them. Buildings blinking everywhere in the last 2 minutes of this match. This match's all but over. Well, it is over, but all. Shout out to Pris. I miss Pris. Pris was cool. There's Pris. There's Hulk. There's Moo. People. Johnny. Crazy Russian dude. Super cool guy. Super cool guy. 411K, 0 people in their initial build, in their initial zone. That's about right. Kirat, 117 million power player, marching home every single time. That's terrible news, and he's marching out now. Look at how much time worth of a march. 2 minutes. Where is he going? 2 minutes to get here instead of 49 seconds. Look at the difference. A whole double the time, essentially. What about Character T? You can message Character T too. I'm down. Character T, I've seen his account before. It's crazy. Why not African empires? Egypt, Kush. I mean, we can always enjoy some Kush. Mali, Ghana, more. I'd like to see that. I agree. I agree. It's weird, right? Like, history is all about, like, the West and Europe, which is weird. There's so many big civilizations and empires out there that are all the way on the east that nobody's paying attention to. Keem, what's up? You're late, but this is pretty much over. All arcs organized like Invitational would be more fun with all commanders to be used. Kurosaki, I definitely agree. It would have been much, much more fun that it'll be all about strategy and not about the commanders you have. I think that long term, that's what'll be Ark, by the way. I think that Ark long term will be that. Maybe next season of Osiris Invitation, of Osiris League will be like that too. I don't know. I hope it will be. I hope everybody who gets to play, everybody who has the drive to be an Ark player can just do it. GGs, let's get those GGs in the chat for the folks of 411K taking that W. 1008 Michelle. taking the MVP. So that's better than that's a nice little consolation prize. The boobs lifestyle is real. So take a look at the stats really quickly. They were fairly even on almost anything. A little bit more unit heals for sure. But what killed them is just the buildings. The building game is really what destroyed them. 0 provisions on both sides is really interesting to see. I don't think we'll see that in Osiris League, but maybe this is the case. Maybe this is the new meta we're perceiving and we're getting a chance to take a look at. This is interesting. 13,000 point worth of a difference is big, but it's not that big. 177 definitely have some fixing up to do on their boobs lifestyle kingdom alliance thing, but I think they'll be doing good next season. Having a time to fight against 411k in regular Ark before Osiris League begins is really good to get like that nice little backhand to the face, like you're not good enough. And that's not that they're bad. I'm not saying that they're bad, but the number one reason JWM keep losing the finals is that very few teams, or really no teams, managed to contest JWM until the finals of Season 1. And in Season 2, OV was a tough opponent, but other than that, all the way up to HKL, it was nobody really contested too much. And then when you get to the finals, it's like that backhand, but it's at the finals, which sucks. Right now, 1008 got that backhand before League even begins, which is fantastic for them. It is great. It's probably the best thing that could have happened for their Osiris League Season 3 was to meet 411k today and get beaten by them, get wrecked by them. That is all the wake-up call they needed to figure out where their issues are, what they need to improve, what they need to practice on. I kind of honestly wish that when we were in JWM 2 that we had gotten to fight 411k or HKL or OV or anyone ahead of time. Will JWM win this time? Ali, I have no idea. I honestly have no clue. But we are going to switch to this really quickly so I can get out of this mode. And, yeah. Chat, it's been fun. We casted a nice little Ark. We've been live for about an hour and 11 minutes. I'm going to head out of here. Before I leave, though, you have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything, now is the time. And before you leave, don't forget to drop a like on the stream and, of course, subscribe to the channel. Max, is the upcoming wheel in Kingdom 59 YSS is third? Yes, it is. It should be. It could be a generic. It could be a generic. Though someone said that nowadays it's commander generic. So it could be a generic this time and then only in 2 weeks a YSS. I hope and pray that's not the case, but if it is, we're ready regardless. Really low provisions from 411k, usually more for sure. I don't think they've kept their put out their best strat on a practice match, right? One of the biggest markets is India. Maybe India civilization makes sense. Yes and no, Tasfin. I don't know if you know this, but India banned a couple of very, very, very big Chinese mobile games lately, and there was a little bit of a scare that they will completely ban all the Chinese-made games and applications and all that stuff. So that's a thing. 30th player for 1008 was supposed to be provisions. Oh, well, that sucks. I heard the next commander is from India and it's cavalry and garrison. Abdullahi, there is no real source that can give you that information unless you have someone from Lilith. All that you hear is like people who hear from people who hear from people who hear from people. We can start a rumor right now, you know. We can start a rumor like right now. Listen to this, right? The next civilization is going to be the Amazonas. Okay, the Amazonas civilization. There's going to be a chick who has like this green skin and red dots on her. And her name is Gekonia. And that's the new commander coming out in Rise of Kingdoms. Gekonia. She is a archer, garrison, wall climbing commander. Spread the rumor. You made a video about equipment? I did. X21X. I made 3 videos or 4 videos about equipment. All of them, wow. All of them about which sets are the best ones for pay to win as well as free to play. We went from free to play and worked our way up to more than spending more the better. There should be a pleb cup for OL. That's pretty funny. Gekonia, yep. That's her. That's the new commander, Geckonia. Spread the rumor, chat. Spread the rumor. Yeah, wall climbing like a gecko. She just walks on walls. She's hot too. She's hot. She's kind of like a sassy Boudica with the innocence of a Constance and the eyes of Artemisia does. That's the. All right. With that being said, chat, I'm gonna head out of here. Time will tell if it's right or wrong. True. True. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll have she or he. She for sure. She's hot too. Trust. She's hot. But anyway, tomorrow, new video. Maybe we actually make worst legendary commanders to invest 2020. Onto the idea board he went, and we might even make that tonight for tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. Chat, I'll see y'all sooner rather than later. Appreciate every single of you. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, join the community. We'll be back live on Wednesday, 4 p.m. UTC, maybe a little bit later than that. Yeah, we stream. It's fun. Come chill. Have a good time. Take care. Have a good one. Peace. Oh my goodness gracious.